you load and fire this musket. Go! See what a real man does in the goldfields, not what a toy soldier does. Right over there!
Go, dito ko. Go.
Nag-live ka di?
Oh, ito dito. Picture.
Taga-live tayo.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Ballarat. Ballarat is a Wathrong word which means resting place. Wathrong, traditional custodians of the land. For about 60,000 plus years, this land provided the Wathrong people with their food, their drink, their clothes, their shelter, their tools, everything. August 1851, up the road in Buninyong, round the corner Golden Point, down the road in Clunes. People started to discover gold, and within about 6 months there are 30,000 plus miners here, all trying to make a fortune. What you need is a police force. Back then, there were only 43 policemen in the whole state of Victoria. The idea was to send some up here to become the Goldfields Police Force. But we don't have 43 when gold is discovered, because everyone is coming up here to make their fortunes. Doctors, lawyers, police. So they had to recruit for the police force, but unfortunately, all they could recruit was the riffraff. No educated people want to be a policeman, one of the lowest paid jobs in the colony. Miners, shepherds, people laying roads, they are making more than the police. No chance for promotion, no code of conduct, no regulations yet. So that's why the riffraff got the job. And the riffraff are seeing bush rangers coming out with guns. Yeah, we had them. Murderers, horse thieves, guns, knives. And if you're making a pittance a week, are you going to risk your life? No. So they're sitting in the pub having a drink, fighting with each other and getting drunk. And the authorities have decided, you know, we got to get these men off their backsides to do their jobs. So they're bringing a thing called the incentive scheme. Now, two things they did when gold was discovered here. First one, they brought in a gold license. You want to look for gold, every month you have to pay 30 shillings. That's like me asking you futuristic folks for about $500 a month. What are you going to get for it? Well, probably nothing. That's what they're asking the miners to do. And they made it a dry state. No alcohol for the first 2 years. And if adults don't get alcohol, they're going to make it themselves. So anyway, the incentive scheme, now those two things I told you, they're finable offences. If a policeman catches you without a licence, or you just standing there having illegal alcohol, making it, selling it, whatever, finable offence. So the incentive scheme goes something like this. Any policeman bringing in anyone on a finable offence gets to have half of the fine. Now they're getting up off their backsides doing a job. So £5 if you do not have a licence, 2.5 in a policeman's pocket, £50 for the grog offence. If you're making it, selling it, or just standing there drinking it and he catches you, £50, and 25 of those pounds goes into the policeman's pocket. And when you consider his yearly wage is £22, all he has to do is catch one person on illegal alcohol. Little thing called corruption is creeping in. They're ripping up licences. They're taking backhanders from sly groggers. But what I've been telling you folks is the riffraff of society. Foot police, town police, water police. Not so much up here in Ballarat, but down in Melbourne. All the ladies, I can see them looking at me with big smiles on their face. And why not? What a handsome looking fella. He ain't no riffraff, you are thinking. Well, he isn't no riffraff. I represent the mounted police force. We are not riffraff. We are ex-military men. We understand discipline. We understand how to take orders. We understand how to beat you up and still get you up off the ground afterwards. We're very good at that. And we do not take bribes. I know, I can see some of your faces and you're going, that's a lie. Of course you take them. Let's put it to the test. Anyone got $5 note on them? Yep, you come here, sir. What's your name? Right, you're going to try to bribe me. You're going to say something like, will you take $5 to, I don't know, let me rob the bank or something. Go on. Sure, mate, there's nothing in there. Go for it. Oh, yeah, no, we do take bribes. Sorry, that's my mistake. We do take bribes. How much more money you got on you? So you leave me $5 back then. Look, they thought the mounted police officers would be able to, the corruption, stand it out. It didn't work. We saw what was going on and thought, well, if that's how we're going to supplement our income, let's do that. Now, these men, foot mounted, whoever, retired with pockets full of money. But I have to say this, according to the police historians and some of our historians, there is no proof that that happened. I've actually read diaries where they say it. But then again, who am I to say? Maybe the miners who were writing these diaries were a big bunch of fat liars. Am I right, children? Well, you know you're miners, aren't you? Anyway, so the mounted police force, blue uniform, white stripe down the pants, white band on the cap. On the back here, that's for the cartouche pouch. When I go out into the field, out to the bush, sign out 12 rounds of ammunition. When I get back, I've got to account for each one of those rounds. 2.5-inch leather belt holds the other accoutrements. One of the accoutrements, the sabre, made out of the finest Sheffield steel. Sheffield still great steel makers up until about the 2000s. For all I know, they're still making great steel. Shark skin on the handle. When it rains, that is not going to fall out of my hand. This is what we call a cutting or slashing weapon. Miner doesn't have a license. He goes for a run. That was very silly, because I'm after him on a horse. I come up alongside him. Whew. Cut him to pieces. He is gone. Wipe, wipe. I'm not going to kill the fella. 2 reasons. I kill anyone, I can go to jail. Don't get the wrong impression. We're not running around killing people willy-nilly. We did kill people, but if we're going to kill you, we're going to wait until you're on your own, down a dark alleyway, or out by your tent. If we are after you for your fine money, we're not going to kill ya. We don't get the money if you're dead. What we do instead, see that little knob on the end of the handle? That is called a pummel. We'll still ride you down, but instead of slashing, we're going to crack you on the back of the head. Down you go. And we believe, because that's the pummel, do you know what? You kids don't know this, but the adults, do you know when someone's getting kicked and hit and they say he's been pummeled? We think that's where that came from, because they used to knock off. Town police and foot police do not carry the sabre. That is carried over from our military days when we were in the army. We asked if we could keep these when we became mounted policemen. They said yes. Town police, foot police carry these. You know them as truncheons. We call them batons. Very light wood, but at the same time, that is very heavy wood. And the idea is to get them down onto the ground. Back of the legs, in the gut. Best one, back of the head, down they go. Any volunteers? Well, you have to take my word for it. Reason we got to get you down onto the ground, because then there come these. Handcuffs. One size nowadays fits all. Adjust. Our day, one size does not fit all. We got about 4 or 5 of these on our belt, because believe it or not, little ones for the pickpockety type hands. Check your wallets if you're beside a child. Medium-sized ones for the feminine hands, and big ones for the big butch hands. They are always open on the belt. Once they're closed, you have just been clapped in irons. Only way to get them off, with a key. Goes in and you unscrew. And we believe that's how the prison officers got their nicknames, because they're the screws. They let them out. Then we're going to take you back here to Ballarat to the jail. When I say jail, I do apologise. A jail, as you all know it, not here till 1857. Up until that point, the jail is a log or a tree or a post. You're shackled by your wrists, by your ankles, out in all sorts of weather, heat wave, freezing. We don't provide any food, clothes, drink or shelter. Family and friends provide all that. Don't get the wrong idea though, you're not gonna die. Magistrate comes, 2-3 days. What's the charge? Didn't have a license. Boom, guilty, pay your fine. Bushrangers, bank robbers, murderers, if we happen to catch them, straight down to Melbourne jail. They deal with you down there. Another accoutrement of the trade is a 58 caliber smooth bore muzzle loaded pistol. Smooth bore because the barrel in there is absolutely smooth. Later on today, 4:30, redcoat soldiers. Oh look, there's one there. What an ugly looking fella. What he's carrying there though is a rifle. Rifle barrels have got grooves cut into them, so when the projectile comes out, it spins and it keeps spinning. With this, it's like a mini cannon. Fast lead shot musket ball, like that. Boom! He gets a lot more accuracy and a lot more distance with his rifle. 900 yards with that, 30 with this, 90 with a musket. And he is very, very accurate. Don't get me wrong, this is accurate too up to about there. But then after that... Children, if you learn anything at Sovereign Hill, learn this. A redcoat soldier points a rifle at you 900 yards away and shoots. You're dead! D-E-D! Dead! I point that and shoot at you. You live to fight another day. With that in mind, jewelry shop. Man comes out with all the jewels. Oh, he's a nasty man. He sees me standing here with a loaded pistol. I yell, "Stop! In the name of the law!" What's he gonna do?
Run.
Who said stop? Well done, young fella. Of course he's gonna stop. I didn't say run in the name of the law, did I? He knows something that I just told you and you've all just forgotten. I'm going to miss. I stand here and say stop in the name of the law. He runs, I shoot. Good chance he's going to run into the bullet. Whereas if he stands absolutely still, I shoot, I'll probably hit the bank. Now he runs! He has got 20 to 40 seconds to get out of here while I reload the pistol. Good trooper can load that in about 20 seconds, 3 shots per minute. Napoleon Bonaparte's troops, 12 seconds, 5 shots per minute. That's how they could swarm all over Europe and take over. We don't want to talk about the Frenchies. We want to talk about this.
There we go.
2-band carbine musket. 2 bands and 2 steel bands that hold the stock and the barrel together. It is a 58 caliber, smooth bore, muzzle loaded weapon. Shall we load it up and see what noise it makes? Yeah. Black powder. 3 compounds to the black powder. Sulfur, saltpeter, charcoal. I've opened it. Give it a bit of a shake. We now have 1 measure of powder in that tube into the muzzle end of the weapon. And you know what? Because it's so noisy here, and half of these people could not be bothered coming over and listening to my wonderful speech, I'm just going to load this up and blow their eardrums off. We'll all cover our ears, but they won't. Ha-ha-dee-ha. Oh, when I'm out in the field, I would just take a cartridge out of the pouch, pour it in. Didn't have that. That goes in next. We don't do that at Sovereign Hill because what goes up must come. And if I'm shooting out over your heads, where's it going to come down on? Well, someone in there, that fella there in the red, it's your head, mate. You don't want me to put that in then, do you? No. What about you, Mrs. Jordan?
I'm easy either way.
Shocking! Before you leave, get a new one. Tissue paper! Roll it up into a little ball. This is going to act as wadding. In it goes, just like that. Now what we... Oh, by the way, if they didn't have paper, they would use cloth, bark from a tree, dried horse dung, grass, anything. Now we got to get all that down to the bottom of the barrel. Going to ram it down using this here ramrod. Down it goes, just like that. You will notice that it's attached to the weapon. Reason for that, if I'm on top of a horse, that's not attached and it falls. Got to stop the horse, got to get down, look around. Time, effort is wasted. And if you lose your ramrod, no good as a musket. You can't get all that down there. Basically, it's turned into a club. But I've already got one of those, so I don't need another one. That teeny tiny little thing there is called a top hat percussion cap. It is going to go on the nipple at the end of the breech, right there, everybody. Just like that. Weapon is now ready to be fired. What is going to happen? When I arm the weapon, I pull back the hammer to fire. I pull the trigger. Hammer snaps back, hits the percussion cap, releases the spark down the tube. It's going to go bang, which means you all need to stick your fingers in your ears. If you've got a little one with you, make sure it's ears that's covered. Ladies and gentlemen in Ballarat, weapon is about to be fired. Place your fingers in your ears. You, handsome. Any horses coming up that road, I thank you. They thank you. Queen Victoria thanks you. Weapon is armed. We are firing in 3, 2, 1.
Find a hole.
That is how you load and fire a musket. Are there any questions? If not, enjoy the rest of your day at Sovereign Hill. And if I'm not mistaken, looking at that weather, I reckon snows are coming. Enjoy.
Thank you.